What's goody? It's your boy Ghiman Mckinney, Ghiman. That's how you spell my name. You can call me Juice or G-Man. I'm back with another video for y'all. And as you always all know, go Green Bay Packers. Go Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he a bad man. We're going to be back this year, guys. But either way, guys, back to the topic. We are going to talk about, obviously, this surprise move that everybody's surprised about. Kareem Hunt is heading to Cleveland, Ohio to join Baker Mayfield and them Cleveland Browns. Now, if you are new to the channel, hit that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button, as I do post a ton of videos each week and almost every single day. But without further ado, let's get right to it, y'all. You know, for those of you guys that don't know who Kareem Hunt is, last year burst right onto the scene as a rookie, led the league in rushing yards for the Kansas City Chiefs, made the playoffs, got exited in the first round. Chiefs fans, sorry about that. But either way, guys, you know, this year comes back, has another pretty solid year. Is on pace to be top 5 in rushing yards this year once again. And then, as you know, there was news broke. There was a video that came out of him in February of 2018, allegedly shoving and kicking a woman, and that got him released from the team. That was in a Cleveland hotel, by the way, so how ironic, where he kicked and shoved the woman, he ends up in that same city, Cleveland, Ohio. It was in a Cleveland hotel. But either way, guys, you know, this came as a little bit of a shock to me. You know, first of all, I'm happy for Kareem Hunt. You know, I understand that, you know, shoving and beating a woman and kicking a woman is not. I'm not promoting that in any way. But I do think Kareem Hunt is generally sorry for what he did, and I'm happy he's getting a job now. I really am. But either way, guys, you know, Kareem Hunt got released by the Kansas City Chiefs as a result of that. I'm very sorry for that poor woman that had to go through that. You know, is out of a job for the rest of the year. Comes back, you know, this offseason. Cleveland, of all teams, picks up Kareem Hunt. Now, this guy, guys, my initial thoughts on this is I'm shocked. I really am. Now, when I look at the Cleveland Browns, I think their biggest need is wide receiver, offensive line, and offensive line help. And they probably need a little bit of a deep tackle, maybe a linebacker too. But running back, I think Cleveland was already set. You know, I really do. They had enough running backs this past year to trade away Carlos Hyde. They traded away Carlos Hyde, a great running back for them. They have Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson. So I do think that they didn't necessarily need Kareem Hunt. But I'm going to tell you right now, Kareem Hunt is better than both of those running backs on their roster. Now, Kareem Hunt, this is a 1-year deal for about roughly over a little bit over $1 million. So, you know, it's not too much of a big of a risk. You know, and it's also reported that they're still investigating the punishment and things like that. So Kareem Hunt may have to sit out about 6 games this year, something like that. So I mean, you know, he'll only play about half the season, something like that. But for me, I think this was a little bit of a reach. I think that teams like the New York Jets, I think teams like the Oakland Raiders, I think teams like the San Francisco 49ers, I think teams like the Colts, I look at those teams, I think those are the teams that should have tried to pursue Kareem Hunt. Not the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, I thought, were set for 10 years with Nick Chubb at running back. But, like I said, Kareem Hunt is better than Nick Chubb. He's better than Duke Johnson. He's a better receiving threat than all of them, in my opinion. Now, I think the best case scenario for Cleveland is when he does play, there's no issues in the locker room, and he balls out. And you know, him and Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson are 3 of the best running backs in football. I expect Cleveland to be a borderline playoff team next year. Either way, whether this was with Nick Chubb and this was with Nick Chubb, this was with Duke Johnson, and Kareem Hunt is better than those players. So I do think that, you know, the best case scenario for Cleveland is they're one of the top 5 rushing teams next year. They could potentially make the playoffs. You know, they're a borderline playoff team. That division is wide open with the dysfunction in Pittsburgh and things like that. So I do think it's a little bit of a calculated risk, but it's only for about 1 year. So, you know, if it's a Josh Gordon thing where it's like, you know, this guy is so bad in the locker room, it's only for 1 year. Now, I do, like I said, think that Cleveland should stay away from as much dysfunction as possible. This is historically a dysfunctional franchise, and they've had a lot of issues with a lot of different players. You know, Antonio Callaway, you know, he had a lot of issues at Florida. They took a chance on him. He's having a decent career. But again, I do think they reached for Kareem Hunt a little bit. Now, I think it's only for about a year. You know, I don't think it'll potentially tear down the locker room, things like that. You know, often with these situations, it could tear down the locker room. You know, could create some tension and heat in the locker room. But I don't think that'll happen. You know, I think Kareem Hunt, I think it'll work out. I really do. But I don't think this was a risk Cleveland needed to take. But, you know, they got Kareem Hunt right now. I do expect Cleveland to be one of the better rushing teams in the league next year. I expect Baker Mayfield to take another step. They have a couple of good draft picks they can have, you know. I think Cleveland's going to have a decent year. I think this is I think this is the okay risk to take, considering it's only about 1 year, because Kareem Hunt is going to be a free agent after this year. So you get him cheap for 1 year. If you like him, if it works out, you sign him, maybe possibly long term, maybe another 2 or 3 years. But I just think that, you guys didn't really need Kareem Hunt. But like I said, he's a dynamic talent. He was on the market. Why not take a chance on him? So those are pretty much my thoughts for it. I do think that other teams, like I said, the Jets, the Raiders, the Colts, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Ravens too, all are teams that could have used Kareem Hunt. All of them. But they didn't take a chance on him. Now, the Cleveland Browns GM, who was in Kansas City when they drafted Kareem Hunt at the time, when Kansas City took him in the draft, he said he has a great relationship with Kareem Hunt that day back to 2016 when he was, scouting him and things like that in the draft. So he said that he thinks Kareem Hunt took full responsibility of the situation. They've had a long discussion and talking about this, and he thinks Kareem Hunt is going to be all in. Now, there's also reports that Kareem Hunt is dealing with alcoholism and anger management issues and still working through some of those things. So that's another problem. But, like I said, it's only about a 1 year deal. A little bit over $1 million. He could only play about 8 games this year, 8 games, because of the investigation and punishment he may suffer. But let's say this does work out for Cleveland. You can never get too many good running backs. You really can't. You really just can't. You saw at the end of the year, Todd Gurley for the Los Angeles Rams. He looked worn out at the end of the year. So you really can't just ride one running back. I think you do nowadays need to have at least 1 or 2 running backs. You already had 2, but now you have 3 legit running backs on the team. So I don't think you're going to have fresh running backs coming in the game. I do think that helps you from a depth perspective, because you don't want your star running back like Todd Gurley at the end of the year getting worn out. People have also mentioned, that Kareem Hunt could be a possible trade asset. I don't see many teams trading for Kareem Hunt. I really don't, For one, because of the issues that, he had, it was very hard for teams to pick him up in the first place. It took him this long to get a job. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be willing to give him a whole lot of picks for him, just because of the history and what happened and things like that. But, maybe. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I don't think that a lot of teams are going to try to trade for Kareem Hunt. You're not going to get a whole lot back from him. Like I said, I think it's a decent move by Cleveland, but, we're going to see what happens. But hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think of the move. Will Kareem Hunt work in Cleveland? Will he not? What do you think he's going to do when he comes to Cleveland? Do you think that they should have made this move? Is Duke Johnson and Nick Chubb the future? Let me know your thoughts. It has been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, and I'm Ghost.